So I thought I'd do a quick little video to showing how I mix my water soluble fertiliser that's distributed with this Dosatron. So Dosatron, I've got some bypass valves that I can, if I don't want to fertiliser my plants, and obviously the solenoid valves. I just noticed this here was a bit loose, so that's why it's a bit wet in here, but normally it's dry. So the pipe comes out the bottom and that goes into this wheelie bin. This isn't a full-size wheelie bin. I think it's around about 180 litres, I think. And obviously this is your hose pipe for filling it up, and that's the pipe that comes out your Dosatron. It comes right at the end. You've got a little filter that obviously stops any solids from getting down. Now, we used to use a 25 litre drum. That used to only last a day, whereas this wheelie bin will last 10 days, if not more. So it's a really good way, well, best way I found so far of mixing fertiliser. And so we'll have a look at mixing in a minute, but basically all you need is a drill, and I bought this plasterer mixer. It's quite wide, around about 10 centimetres I think, 100mm wide. You only need it on low speed, and you shove it in there, turn it on, and obviously it mixes up pretty quick. So we'll have a look at that in a minute. We'll just grab the fertiliser first. So this is the fertiliser I use, water soluble fertiliser. This stuff is obviously nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. It's quite high in phosphorus. I got this, it was like end of stock or discontinued, so it's quite cheap. And then I use this stuff, which is more expensive, and this is high nitrogen, and obviously it contains all the trace elements. So I have a bag that I put all my fertiliser in, so I measure out. So I normally put 2 of these in. It turns the water blue, that fertiliser. And so you can get, so obviously you know, like, you've got different types of fertiliser. So I put 2 scoops of the high nitrogen content, and usually about sort of 12 scoops of this stuff. And I put it all in this bag, and that way I can tip the bag into that wheelie bin without sort of getting dirt in it. So I keep this bag clean as I can. So obviously I don't want dirt in that fertiliser, or it could clog your system up. Like the fertiliser, you've got to keep it sealed, stops it going hard, especially this high nitrogen content. If you leave that unsealed for more than a day or two, you end up with big clumps, and it's a real pain to mix. I do want to get some storage containers that are airtight. Okay, so I'll put this in and then we'll mix it. So to start off with, I fill this drum or wheelie bin about 1/3 full. I obviously I don't want to put the fertiliser, a big clump in there, and then put water on it, so it might stick to the bottom. So I'll fill this here up, and then I'll tip the fertiliser in. Move the pipe to the Dosatron so you don't chop it up. Just threading it through that hole. And then we'll fill it up 1/3 full, and then tip the fertiliser in and then agitate. Okay, so normally I leave the hose pipe running, but it's quite noisy. I've turned it off. So now I get the fertiliser. Do not drop the phone in here. Okay, next get the drill. So it's pretty impressive, it's pretty effective. So what I do, I get it to fire the water down, and that way it sort of takes the weight off the drill. If it goes in the other direction, then it forces the stirrer down, and it does surprisingly need quite a lot of force to, yeah. So I just have it going down. Okay, let's get some more water in and I'll do a bit more mixing. Okay, about half full, so give it a bit more of a mix. And then I rinse it off with a hose pipe. I've had this for a couple of years and there's just a little bit of rust, so yeah, so it's absolutely fine. If it gets really rusty, then obviously I'll just get a new one. And then fill it up to the top and put your Dosatron back in, and that's it. So it hasn't really cost me anything, this. We had this drum laying around and it saves me a hell of a lot of work. And I know when I tried to Google it, how to mix liquid fertiliser, there wasn't a lot. Particularly, I'm not a particularly big scale nursery, but this method works really well for me. If you let us know how you mix your fertiliser, maybe I'm not doing it the right way, leave us a comment, and yeah, I much appreciate it.